Hi, it's Zach Jones here from Heal Yourself and Move, and in today's training session, I'm going to be bringing you a wonderful exploration and Zoom class that I had with Onajimi, who's an incredible dancer and choreographer from Florida. And what he wanted to work on was how to release tension and improve his range and flow in his turnout muscles, which had been affected and been restricted for many, many years. And the results, as you can see in this session, are really quite astonishing. And what I want you to really focus in on is Onajimi's response and his integration of the lesson so quickly into his movement understanding, and the way he explained it afterwards is really worth watching. So enjoy. Great to see you.
I'm super excited.
How did you come across what we're doing? Heal Yourself and Move. How did you come across it?
It honestly randomly popped up on Facebook, and it catered to, well, I mean, I'm a dancer, so, I get a lot of dance targeted ads all the time, but the description in the ad was a bit different from what I'm used to seeing, and kind of like, well, it piqued my interest, and the more I read, the more I was telling myself, this kind of sounds like what I've been trying to accomplish on my own this whole time anyway, just as far as releasing the tension, like, and so it fluctuates when you get in like the zone and everything works perfectly as far as dancing goes.
Yeah.
So I said, well, if they've already figured it out, why am I going to sit here and do all of this heavy lifting?
It's that hit of losing yourself in the moment. I'm going to start quoting Eminem, but it's that thing of it's always having this peak experience on stage where, or you've felt them, where it's just there's nothing better than it, and anything other than that is not so good. It's disappointing, and but at the same time, the moment that you're having on stage, in a way, is always unrepeatable because it's a pure experience. It doesn't. The fact that you aren't conscious of it means you can't repeat it. You can all you can be is you can bring yourself up to the moment and then allow it and then be in it, but you can't force it. You can't make it happen. And sometimes it can be that the actual knowing that I better get this big experience. It's better happen. That can be what changes it. And part of the interesting thing is that obviously, because you're doing modern and you're doing with ballet influence in it, there's a highly technical aspect to it. There's forms, there's shapes, there's precision, there's marks you got to hit. There's all these kind of things, and so to transcend that is to get to a peak, experience within it is one of those things that well, most dancers are chasing it, really, aren't they? Yeah. Let's go and re-examine what you're doing there and see if we can transform it so that the very thing that you're noticing, we're going to look at it and see if we can find a position and a place that is tension-free in it. So, for instance, if you go back to your original position, can you locate a point of tension at all there? When you've found that, great. I want you to have your hand very resting very lightly on that place, and I want you to very gently sigh and just say to yourself, say to that area, relax. Relax the contact between your hand and your thigh. Relax the sensation where it's touching. What are you noticing there, Onajimi?
Everything just keeps getting a little looser, bit by bit.
Fantastic. What comes to your awareness?
It's kind of weird to explain, because right now it kind of feels like, I don't know, like my body's just kind of like flowing in its own special way. It's like I don't know, like the my like I don't know what like my chest. I'm exaggerating it a bit, but my chest is like doing that in conjunction like with my hips, like just.
Mhm.
But it's very, very, very subtle. The left side of my body kind of because that's another thing I didn't bring up. But the left side of my body, I don't know. I actually have zero idea when that started, but it's not as accurate as the right side of my body. Like my left side is the side with all the flexibility, and my right side is the side with all the strength. I was never like weirdly unbalanced like that before, but I can feel the left side of my body starting to come back to me.
Allowing yourself time to honor that shifting on that subtle level is really fantastic, because once again, then the next thing is obviously there's all the applications, but which is what often people get really excited about with this work, you know. But I get excited about what you just did. You know, like, what was that change? Where did it affect? Because when you can chase those things, that's what you when you bring it into the actual actions, and then you're still doing that. That's when it's
Mm-hmm.
you know, dance magic. Let's, in other words, you know. So
Uh-huh. When I was, you know, working on getting up without putting, you know, tension on my hip, um, like just the whole from the moment I rolled over to when I stood up, it felt like a breath. Like that was the first thing that came to my mind. It was just like my body, like it felt like my body was a breath,
wow.
or doing that with a breath. I don't know how to explain it, um, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
So,
beautiful explanation. That's one of the things I love to talk about with people is going, you when you find your imagery, the thing that works for you. This once is a physiological process mixed with an imaginative process, you know, and
okay.
that's why this becomes an artistic process. This is, I guess, what's different with this work is that
Hmm.
we're finding the shapes and allowing you to be comfortable and feel enjoyment within them,
Mm.
which allows you then to imagine, you know, and then that imagination is what you bring into your dancing. But it's also the thing that you trace back. So your body was a breath. That's such a beautiful, beautiful image. And then for you, that could be the thing that allows you to re-enter that as well.
I didn't even know I was six across. You know, it was literally like my waist. Like I felt that just go. It like it like I don't even want to say it tingled because that's not the right word. It like sprinkled. There was just like like when a light shower, like it just came across like, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay. That
fantastic.
was I've never felt that sort of a release before, so that was kind of cool.
So how did you find that? Let me know. I'd love to find out what you thought and also what you'd like me to do some training on in the future. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to have trainings like this every week, we've got a Facebook group that has a live every Friday where I take any offerings or any suggestions from the group, and we do a live on it each Friday. So it's a fantastic way to get started with this method and also understand some of the underlying theories and practices behind it. Can't wait to see you in the group.